So last year, I put together a book on one of my pages, and it was the process of, from creating your story to putting the Canva and having it formatted correctly for KDP. When I created that book, I created the images in chat, and the images weren't so consistent. But since then, I have found this website called ConsistentCharacter.ai, and this has made it so much easier to produce illustrations for books, coloring books, and so on, for various things. What I want to do now is recreate another book for you guys. This book, I of course won't be publishing on KDP because this is just a more so of a teaching. I didn't put any effort into this book, so that's why. But I want to be able to give you guys a template, and I'll put the link in my bio, but this will just be a template that will be uploaded, and you guys can go ahead and make a copy of it. And this will just serve as a template for any books that you want to create in the future, and it will already be formatted, with the cover, with the actual pages of the books, and so on, so that you can go ahead and publish on KDP if you would like. So the first step, of course, is creating your story. So if you have a story that you've already created, that is great. You can move on to the next step. But for most people, maybe they just have an idea. So you go take that idea to Chat, Gemini, Claude, whatever you want, and type it in and have Chat help you out. So again, this story is just a story that I just had Chat come up with. I put no effort into this, and again, this will not be published, but this is just for teaching purposes. So it created my character prompt, and it came out, it produced the story and the illustration prompt. So what I'm going to do is go to ConsistentCharacter.ai for step 2, and I'm just going to create my character and create these plug in these prompts so that I can get my images, and then we can go on to Canva. So that's what you'll see me doing for these next steps. Okay, so what we're going to do next is copy the prompt. I'm going to do a slight edit while we're in there, but I'm going to go to ConsistentCharacter.ai, click on step 2, character turbo, and just paste in my prompt. A couple things I'm going to take out because I don't think it's needed. That. Okay. And as far as the action and expression, we're going to get that from the story. So she's sitting in her bed, mid-stretch. Okay. Paste that in. I'm just going to add in a couple more detail. Eyes closed. And hand. Rubbing. Eyes. Mouth open, yawn. Her bunny plush tumbles beside her bed in the sunlight. I'm going to add that to the background section. And okay, let's do Pixar. Okay, so this is the image that it gave me. Okay, so let's move on to page 2. Let's see, she's going to the kitchen because she smells pancakes. I'm going to say she's in the hallway. Excuse me. In the hallway, walking toward the kitchen. Pancakes on the counter are visible. Okay, so this is the image that it gave me for in the kitchen, walking towards the kitchen in the hallway. Okay, I like that. Pretty consistent. Okay, so let's go on to page 3. My is going to be sitting on it. Okay, sitting at the table, eating her pancakes. Okay, so she's at the table eating her pancakes. You got the syrup dripping, And if you compare it to the previous image, it is a match. It's a go. So let's keep it moving. Let's move on to the next page. Page 4. Okay. So Meow Mia peeked out the door and saw a tiny orange kitten. Okay. So the process is self-explanatory. You just copy the prompt, go to ConsistentCharacter.ai, put it in there, and generate the photo. These are just the photos that it generated. The character is the same. And so we can now go to the next step in Canva. Okay, so the next step before we go into Canva is to see what size template we need. And I believe I'm going to be making an 8.5 by 8.5, like a square book. So all I'm going to do is go to Tools and Resources. I'm going to scroll on down. And there's an area that says Try Templates to create covers with any program, blah, blah, blah. So just templates. I'm going to click on templates. Then you're going to enter the information. I'm going to be making a paperback. I want the premium color, but you have the black and white option or standard color if you want. Paper type, white paper, reading direction, left to right, inches, and I'm going to be making it 8.5 by 8.5. You have different sizes that of course you can make for your book. I'm just choosing 8.5 by 8.5. And the minimum page count for KDP books is 24 pages. So for example, if I try to put just 5, right, it's going to give me this little error sign like that says page count must be between 24 to 830 pages. So 24 pages is the minimum. Once you do that, hit calculate. And this is going to tell you all the areas or all the margin areas for your front cover, within your paper, or within your book, and so on. So when we're creating the book, the inside of the book, the margin needs to be within 0.125. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to go into Canva and we're going to set our margins. And the margins are going to be just set up so that nothing important can go into that area. So no words, no text, no images or anything like that. And so that they can, when they're making the book, they can cut and it won't damage your material. So let's head on over to Canva. One last thing before we move to Canva is you can download a template. And so you can just copy and paste that into Canva and use that as a reference point also as so that you can put your margins in. Okay, so we're in Canva. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go across here to custom size. And we're making it 8.5? Yeah, 8.5. Oh, wait, change this to inches before you put it in. So 8.5 by 8.5. And hit create new design. And now it's the square look that I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do first is create the margins. Now, this is already set up where it has a little area for margin, but this is not the margin that I'm looking for. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to File. I'm going to go to File, Settings, Add Guides, and then we're going to hit the Custom button because we don't need all those columns. Just put that back to 0. And then for the margins, it was 0.125. And we're going to put that in both areas for the margins, 0.125. And you see it just automatically changes it to 0.13. That's fine. Add the guides. And you see now the 4 areas where it created that margin. So now the next step is creating your image or uploading your images. So all I did was drag the images over to Canva and it automatically uploads them into your library. So just for the example, I'm going to show you is how easy it is. And I have my images in this little folder. Okay, so I'm going to show you how easy it is to upload to Canva. So wherever you store your pictures on your desktop or whatever folder, you literally just click and drag it on over and it's going to automatically upload. Now you can manually upload it yourself. That's fine too, but you can just click and drag. Let's start putting this book together. So I'm going to put my story on one side and Canva on the other so I can know, how the story proceeds and adjust accordingly. So we have prompt 1. And that's the one where she's sitting on the bed stretching. And so we just double click or click on the image and it will automatically pop on the page for Canva. And you just drag it to the within the margin areas, drag it, and then bam, that's that. And we're going to have the book where on the left side is the image, on the right side it's the text. So right now we're just going to create the next page by hitting the add page button. And so you have image, and then this is going to be the page for the text. Now you can just put a placeholder or leave it as is, do the pictures first, but just for the sake of this, I'm going to just put some text here. I like, for children's books, I like the Fredoka font. You can choose, of course, whatever font you like, but just click on text and then the option to change the fonts. It's a drop down menu. You could just change the font that way. But we're just going to copy and paste. So again, we want to make sure that it's all within the margins, which it is. You could change the colors. And I'm just making sure that it's in the middle. In the middle, you'll know it's in the middle because the Canva will show you like a red line. Like, hey, this is, okay, perfectly centered. So I have the vertical and the horizontal red line. If you want to add things to your background page, your page, such as little elements, you can do so. Just click on elements in the sidebar and type in, I don't know, let's say bunnies, because she's holding her bunny and she has a bunny on her overalls. Let's go to see all. And let's just put a bunny in there. And let's rotate it and duplicate it. But you can duplicate any image or any text by just clicking the plus sign. Once you have it highlighted, just hit the plus sign and it will duplicate. And you can rotate it. And you can just do whatever it is that you want to add little character or a little something more to your page. It's whatever. Now, as far as the image that you just added, you can, change the transparency just to have a little faded on the background if you want, or you can keep it as is. But this is just an option. Okay. So you have the image and you have the text. And so you're just going to keep doing this until you're done with the book. So just add page. And so again, we're going back to the images, so uploads tab. And the second page, she's walking to the kitchen. Let's do that one. Yeah, bam, that's done. We're going to go back actually to this page, at page 2, and above it you have these options. And I'm just going to hit the duplicate page, and I'm going to hit this arrow to move it down. And we're going to just do that so I won't have to, change the font again and blah, blah, blah. But I'm just going to copy the text for my page 2 and paste that in. Cool beans. Then we go to the next page and so on. So I'm just repeating the process over and over again. I just wanted to keep this clip in just to show you guys, it's nothing changes. And so you just, put the picture in, copy the image, the text in, and move on to the next step. You're going to keep on doing this until all of your images are inputted, all your text is inputted, and then you can go back and if you need to upscale the images, which I don't need to because these are already high quality, you can do that, or edit any other photos. All right, so on this image, there is clearly something wrong. And what we're going to do, this has to go, right? This extra leg that's going through the cover. So what we're going to do is hit edit. And we're going to try the magic. Let's try the magic grab for a second. And so I just click those. Let's grab it. And then since we grabbed it, we can move it around. But we don't need this. So we're just going to delete it. Bam, cool beans. That fixed the problem. Before we think that we are wrapping this up, let's make sure that the font is the same on all the images or all the text. So font 31.8. So we got to do that for all the images because I know I had changed it. Okay, so we have all of the text and we have all of the images put together. And right now, though, we are only at 20 pages. So remember, the KDP only allows 24 pages minimum. So what we're going to have to do, of course, we're going to have to create some extra pages for our copyright page, title page, and then throw in some blank pages in between those. So let's get on to that. So when you open a book, you have the title page or the copyright page. And so that's what we're going to do right here. Just create the copyright page. You can put in any disclaimer or any text that you want, such as like, this is AI generated images or whatever it is. You can go ahead and add that to this. But that's just the first page that we're putting in, then followed by a blank page. So just think of when you flip the page, there's nothing on the back of that page. And then we're going to do one more blank page. And this is going to be I want the image, not the image, the name of the book. All right, so for the title, I just put in a random title that chat gave me, but you can of course spice this up with one of the fonts that they have already in Canva. And so you can just search through and see, what you want to put in, just so it can have a little pop to it. I'm going to choose one that's kind of fits the vibe that the book is giving. That can be our title page. We could change the color of it to, I don't know, a pink, kind of like that. Okay. And let's do a random pink for this one. A lighter pink. No, that's not. Okay, so pancakes, purrs, and park time. Mia's random day. I like that. What I'm going to do though, since I have that, I'm going to change all the text to pink because I like that pink. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on one of the texts. We're going to change that to pink. And then you have this option down here that says change all. We're just going to click on change all. And now all throughout the book, the text is pink. Okay, cool. I like that. Now we still just need one more page. And let's put in a dedication page. All right, we need the goal of 24 pages. So now we have 24 pages. And so when you open the book to the right, it's going to have this page. This is going to be the left, right, left. Actually, I'm going to throw in one more page. Okay. Because I want it all to have a, so just thinking of this, this is going to be the front, and this is going to be the back of that page, right? So this is going to be the front and then the back of that page. So when you open the actual book to the actual story, you have the image on one side and the story on the other. Image on one side, story on the other. So once you are done with your book, you're going to go on to make the cover. Before we make the cover, we're going to have to save this. So we hit the share button, download, and we're going to save it as a PDF. Now, if you have the pro version of Canva, then you're going to select the CMYK. So this is best for professional printing, and you hit download. Now, let's go back to the home page of Canva because now we need to get our cover. So we're going to go to home, and we're going to go back to create custom size. And with the KDP, so for the cover, we need these dimensions. So width 17.311, height 8.75. We're going to just take these numbers and we're going to throw it into Canva. So that first one was 17.311. Then the other one with 8.75, and create new design. Before, I also said that you can download the template. So we're going to need that template to copy and paste in there. So for the PNG, you just bring it in and you just stretch it out. And when you're building on this, you just make sure that you don't put any images or text within these margin areas. So as far as, I don't have a actual cover, but let's just grab something. Let's see. Let's just make it on the over here. We're gonna do that. We're going to get that text or add some text. Now, of course, I wouldn't do this for a cover, but we just need something to put on here. So I'm just gonna bring this down and go. Change the font. Y'all get the point. Don't do this, but I'm not a fan of this image, of this setup for the cover, but I just need to show you guys something. And so as far as the text, I need to add some text. So this area right here on the back cover, this is going to be the back cover. This is the front cover, of course. And so as far as the back cover, you would need to add what the book is about, your little blurb, whatever, description of book goes here. And then, of course, you can just put it in the margin, within the margins. Let me duplicate this. And then author info goes here. And then you could put a picture of yourself or whatever. Make sure you don't put anything in that yellow area for the barcode, because when Amazon prints your book, that's where they're going to place the barcode information. All right. So basically, this will be it. I'm going to duplicate this, but once you get everything, within the area, you can go ahead and delete that template. I'm going to leave it on the second version, just so that you guys can always have it when you, if you do use this as a template as you go on. Again, a link will be in the bio, but this was all that you would do. You could change the color of the background to, I don't know, a pink or whatever. It's whatever you want to do. Okay, so once you have completed your cover, you're just going to go to share, download, change from PNG to PDF print best for printing. If you have the pro version of Canva, again, you're just going to select the CMYK and download. Make sure that you just download the one version that you. Other than that, the next step is to go to KDP. You can just type in KDP sign up and create a KDP account for Amazon. You're going to click on this link, and you're just going to follow the prompts to set up your KDP account. I can't go in without giving out some of my personal information, but once you are signed in, it is a straightforward process. It will prompt you, to upload your book, your PDF version of your book, and the PDF version of your cover. Once you do that, it's going to ask you to set up your bank account information, your business information, and so on. It will review your book to make sure that everything is within its margin area. If not, you just go back into Canva and adjust, and it will literally tell you which pages and whatnot need to be adjusted. And once everything is uploaded and you have put in all the information Amazon needs, you will be able to request a a book for yourself before it is published. I do believe you have to pay for it, but it's not going to be, of course, full price. But you can get you a sample version of your book, a proof version, before you press publish to the world. And once you press publish to the world, congratulations, you are now an author. Let me know if you need any other details or any other tutorials. Thanks for watching.